Let's go through the game. And Alan, the Knicks got off to a great start. It was a wire-to-wire win for them. Melo got them out of the gates really well with 13 points in the first quarter.
Yeah, look, just like LJ said, it was a start they had to have in a game like this. Boston coming off a back-to-back in a tough game in Indiana, and Carmelo Anthony got right to work. Look at the good ball movement here. Everybody touched the ball, and right back to Melo where it started. He knocks down the shot, 13 points in that first quarter. And look at the matchups. I mean, he's got Chris Humphries on him. He's definitely going to take that matchup all day long. And they kept it's amazing that you would think Bass would end up on him, but it was Humphries that they had guarding him. And when he gets him one-on-one, here's Sullinger, who just his feet aren't quick enough to keep up with Carmelo Anthony as well. So, LJ, I thought for Melo, it was, again, no Tyson Chandler, no Amari Stoudemire. You're shorthand a little bit, but a game you have to win, and the star player said, okay, I'll get us off to a good start.
Well, so you know how sometimes this year we've had Melo go to the 4, and we talk about him trying to guard a 4 down low. Well, they got to guard him on the other end. And then you got Humphries out there with those feet. You can't stay with Melo. So he's shooting those threes over him. We'll take a 4 on Melo on the outside anytime.
Right. Melo ended up with 19 in the first half. Second quarter, Allen, the Knicks, they were up by 12 after the first quarter. Lead was up to 20 at the half. Earl Clark and Aldridge with major second quarter contributions.
How much do we talk about how important in the second quarter the bench and their contributions are for this team? Tim Hardaway Jr. certainly has been doing that. And Cole Aldridge, he got the start, but he was out there with a lot of the bench players in that second quarter and was making the difference. Nice touch with the left hand, LJ, at the basket. And Earl Clark on his second 10-day now with the Knicks. And he can do some things. We saw it in L.A. with the Lakers. We didn't see it much in Cleveland, but these two guys got it done. Cole in that second quarter was 6 points, 5 rebounds, and Earl Clark had 5 points and 3 rebounds. And, you know, you don't know where you're getting contributions from on some nights, but when guys like that can come in and step up and make big plays and keep that lead and continue to build that lead, that's big.
That's what it's all about. These guys making this playoff push, there's no big eyes and none of that. These guys, we all in it together. So, Earl, when you get a chance to come in and step up, that's what you do. Same thing goes with Cole.
All right, guys, so the Knicks up 20 at the half. Third quarter, a little bit dicey. Celtics got to within 9 after 3 quarters. It was actually 10. Jeff Green, Allen, 17 points in that third quarter alone.
Talked about it in the pregame and the matchups to watch where Jeff Green's the kind of player who can be cold for a while and then suddenly get hot. You cannot lay off him. He's that kind of a streaky player. And talk about streaky, 17 points, 6 of 9, suddenly couldn't miss. A huge part of the Celtics. Now the defense for the Knicks got a little soft, and their offense, they shot the ball very poorly in that third quarter, and so they weren't really able to muster up the offense. They were getting that first half, but Jeff Green got it done. You knew the Celtics were going to make some kind of push. They are that kind of team. They are a hard-working team. And I thought, LJ, you have to expect a little push.
Yes.
They cut that lead in half, got it down to 10. That, as Bill said, that gets a little dicey, but you know, the Knicks at least didn't fold. We saw earlier in the season they might have folded, but they pushed back.
Like you said, we've seen it time before the beginning of the season where these guys get a lead like that, and then all of a sudden someone makes a run on them and they give it up. But that didn't happen this game. It was good to see that right there at the end they kept it together, didn't fold, and got the win.
And largely because, Allen, the Knicks in the fourth quarter outscored the Celtics 31-17.
Yeah, as Wally would say, though he's not here, we'll say it for him. Time to step on the throat, and that's exactly what they did. It was Mortal Kombat time. Finish him, and Carmelo Anthony, one of the best finishers in the game. Pablo Prigioni hit some clutch three-pointers lately. He's worked on that three-point shot, and he can knock it down, and he can also dish it a little bit, too. And there's your guy, LJ. Cole Aldridge, padding his stats with not just 2 points, but also an offensive board.
Get it done.
As well. And the Knicks really, you know, you could see they're just taking more time, although they lost time on the shot clock there. Weren't able to really figure it out, but Carmelo with the flip, and he goes in, and shots like that go in, you know it's your night.
Well, we need more. We need more.
You take more.
It was good to see that. Like you said, they lost the time at the end. So to end up in Melo's hand, that's not a bad play.
Right. It's always a good play. Just give it to Carmelo.
Saturday on MSG Network, it's a matinee from the Mecca. As Melo and the Knicks tip off at the Garden against the Bucks. Join Clyde and the MSG team for full coverage throughout the day.
Anthony up and under again this time. Hard finish.
Bucks. Live coverage begins with Visa Game Night at 11:30. Then New York and Milwaukee tip off at 12. Saturday on MSG Network.